Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the crypto realm. So we're going to take a little look at Bitcoin mining in other countries around the world here for a quick second. This is a huge article. I'm not going to read the whole thing. I'll leave a link in the description. You guys can read it yourselves. All right. So in bankrupt Lebanon, locals mine Bitcoin and buy groceries with Tether, as $1 is now worth 15 cents. And people think we have it good here in the West, but it can collapse at any second. Look at 2008. Look how close we came, and we're still not out of that. But Bitcoin was born out of that, right? And I think by now people are starting to wake up. They can do a lot more with Bitcoin than they can do with normal dollars that are decreasing by the day, just being printed out of thin air every day to solve all the problems that the same people created. It's unreal. All right, so once known for its stable and investment-friendly banking system, Lebanon has plunged into chaos as hyperinflation grips the country and banks force huge haircuts on dollar withdrawals. Yeah, why send money through like Western Union and PayPal and they take a huge hit off you? You can just send it in crypto and it takes a second. It's at the other person's address and it costs you nothing hardly. To make ends meet in a financial system that no longer makes sense, some Lebanese are mining Bitcoin or are storing wealth using the cryptocurrency. The dollar peg stablecoin Tether, which users trade for cash, is also popular. So when I'm just gonna say Gabriel, I can't pronounce his name, I apologize. When Giorgio Abu Gabriel first heard about Bitcoin in 2016, it sounded like a scam. But by 2019, as Lebanon plunged into financial crisis following decades of expensive wars and bad spending decisions, a decentralized and borderless digital currency operating outside the reach of bankers and politicians sounded like a salvation. Gabriel was an architect living in his hometown of Beirut. Sorry, Bayet Mary, I think? Bayet Mary? A village 11 miles due east of Beirut. He had lost his job and needed to figure out another way to quickly get a hold of cash. In the spring of 2020, Gabriel says, the banks were closed and locals were barred from withdrawing money from their accounts. Receiving cash via international wire transfer wasn't a great option either, since these services would take US dollars from the sender and give Lebanese pounds to the recipient at a much lower rate than market value, according to the 27-year-old. These debt-based systems, right? You just keep printing money to and it just creates inflation. You can never catch up. Every civilization in history with a debt-based system is just collapsed. You can't keep it up. So I would lose around half of the value, explained Gabriel of the experience. That's why I was looking at Bitcoin. It was a good way to get money from abroad. Gabriel discovered a subreddit dedicated to connecting freelancers with employers willing to pay in Bitcoin. The architect's first job was to film a short commercial for a company that sold tires. Gabriel was paid $5 in Bitcoin. Despite the tiny amount, he was hooked. Yeah, when you got that $5 in Bitcoin, and now could be worth a lot more if he's kept it up. Today, half of Gabriel's income is from freelance work, 90% of which is paid in Bitcoin. The other half comes from a US dollar denominated salary paid by his new architecture firm. Nice. Beyond being a convenient way to earn a living, Bitcoin has also become his bank. There you go, be your own bank. When I get paid from my architecture job, I withdraw all my money, continued Gabriel. He then uses that cash to buy small amounts of Bitcoin every Saturday. The rest he keeps as spending money for daily needs and home renovations. Gabriel isn't alone in seeking alternative ways to earn, save, and spend money in Lebanon, a country whose banking system is fundamentally broken after decades of mismanagement. The local currency has lost more than 95% of its value since August 2019. Wow. And again, we're experiencing the same thing. We've lost like 90% of our value from the American dollar. I think from like 1930s till now, it's like lost 90% of its buying power. Think about that. That's a lot. So, sorry, where was I? The local currency has lost more than 95% of its value since August 2019. The minimum wage has effectively plummeted from 450 to 17 a month. Pensions are virtually worthless. Think about that. You're working your whole life for a pension that one day just might not be there. Lebanon's triple-digit inflation rate is expected to be second only to Sudan this year, and bank account balances are just numbers on paper. That's right. Money, right? That's just paper. Not everyone believes that the banks are bankrupt, but the reality is that they are, said Ray Hindi, CEO of a Zurich-based management firm dedicated to digital assets. Think about that. You have these people telling you banks are bankrupt, that are in the business. Scary, very scary. The situation hasn't really changed since 2019. Banks limited withdrawals and those deposits become IOUs. You could have taken out your money with a 15% haircut, then 35%, and today we're at 85%. Whew, continued Hindi, who was born and raised in Lebanon before leaving at the age of 19. Still, people look at their bank statements and believe that they're going to be made whole at some point, he said. Despite losing nearly all of their savings and pension, Gabriel's parents, both of whom are career government employees, are holding out hope that the existing financial system will right size at some point. In the meantime, Gabriel is covering the difference. Others have lost faith in the monetary system altogether. Enter cryptocurrency. There you go. So this is a huge article, people. I'm going to leave a link. You can check it out yourself. I think it's just a great story. It's inspirational, and we all have to be on the same page. Keep learning, keep growing, do what you got to do. This is not financial advice. Do your own research. But here also, the cost of mining Bitcoin in 198 different countries. I'll leave a link in the description. Maybe one of you live in these countries. You can start thinking about your expenses and what you could do. If you live in one of these countries, good luck. This is not financial advice. Only do within your means and what you can afford to lose. But there's before it was just a dollar. And if you were screwed in your country, you were screwed. But now we have options, right? This digital currency, cryptocurrencies, gives you options. So the cheapest place would be Kuwait, and then Algeria, and then Sudan, Yemen, Ethiopia, Kyrgyzstan, Angola, Qatar, screw North Korea, and Kazakhstan. All right. So if you're living in any of these regions, you might want to think about Bitcoin mining or just holding Bitcoin, buying Bitcoin, if you can. Good luck to you. Oh, look, Venezuela ranks as the #1 most expensive country to mine Bitcoin. Whew, it costs a whooping 246,000 to mine a single Bitcoin in the South American country. Yikes. That's pretty bad. But all right. Holy cow, here's a big map here you can take a look at. I'll give you guys the link in the description, and it pretty much tells you all the 198 countries and what it costs to mine Bitcoin. Crazy. Oh man. All right, so that's a great inspirational story there, this Lebanon dude turning everything around. And it's hard to drag people along. His parents still believe in the government system, right? Big mistake. Big mistake. I always think you should always be independent, and it's never too late to start being independent, or at least trying to be independent step by step. All right, thank you for listening, everybody. Come to cryptorealm.com. We got links. Have a good one. Play hard, trade smart.